This guide is going to walk you through the complete process from installation to publication of an Android app. Alright, so let's get started. I'm first going to show you how to completely uninstall and remove Android Studio from your PC. This may be necessary every once in a while if your SDK starts to mess up, and that's why I'm covering it in this video tutorial. So first start off by uninstalling the main Android Studio program from your computer. Make sure all of these boxes are checked, hit next, and uninstall. Next, navigate to your C drive, go to the Program Files folder, and delete the Android folder. Now go back to your main C drive folder, click on Users, click on Your Account, and delete the Android Studio folder here. In the same window, go up to the address bar and type in /appdata. This is going to give you access to some hidden folders. Navigate to Local and find the Android folder. Delete it. This is going to remove your Android SDK from your computer. This tutorial is going to follow along with a website that I made. Navigate to it and it's going to give you all the links that you need in order to get this thing done quickly and easily. Let's go to the official Android Studio website and hit Download Options. This is going to bring up the different Android Studio packages. Click on the one that applies to you. Sign your life away and download the program. You're going to get a pop-up that recommends certain websites to you, resources made free available to you by Google. They are linked on my website so you can come back and check them out later on. Now wait for the Android Studio program to download to your computer. Head over to your Downloads folder and run the executable. This is going to bring up the Android Studio setup guide. Hit Next. Make sure that both of these boxes are checked. Now hit Next. Hit Next. Hit Next. And wait for Android Studio to install to your computer. Hit Next, and this will start up Android Studio for the very first time on your computer. Make sure Do Not Import Settings is selected on this dialog and hit OK. This brings up the setup wizard for Android Studio. Hit Next. We are going to do a custom install for Android Studio. Hit Next and select Darkula from the options. This applies a dark theme to your program and it's going to make programming on Android Studio a lot easier on your eyes. Hit Next. You want to make sure that all of these checkboxes on the side are checked. You should also check the Android Virtual Device checkbox. Hit Next. This brings up your emulator settings. Leave it at default and hit Next. The setup wizard will then ask you to review your settings. You just want to hit Next. Now let the setup wizard run and do its thing. Once it's finished downloading all of these components, hit Finish. You will be greeted by a welcome screen, and we're going to start a new Android Studio project. In this window, you want to define a name for your application, define a company domain, and set up a project location. Android Studio will automatically create a package name for you. Note that moving your project folder around after your Gradle has synced will create errors in Android Studio, so make sure that it's where you want it to be for the duration of your project's development. If you prefer to program in C++ or Kotlin, you can choose to do so now. Otherwise, hit Next. Now you get to choose your minimum target API and the different devices that you want to program for. If you want to know more about the different APIs, select Help Me Choose. In short, APIs are different versions of Android that have been released. More recent APIs are going to give you more functionality, while older APIs are going to give you access to a bigger audience. If the API level of a user's device is too low, it will not show up in their Google Play results. You can remove some functionality from your app in order to meet the minimum API level of different user devices. The cumulative distribution column shows you how many users are currently running each Android platform version. For this tutorial, we are going to develop for the Lollipop API, and that's going to put us on 71% of Android users' Google Play Store search results. Once you're done here, hit Next. Make sure that Empty Activity is selected and hit Next. Leave the activity and layout names at default and hit Next. Now click Finish and your project will start to build. Once done, this will bring up a tooltip dialog. You can check through these and see the different shortcuts available in Android Studio. Click Finish and your program will run for the first time. Once it's done building, you will get a Gradle sync error. This is perfectly normal. Click the link to install build tools and sync your project. In this pop-up, click Accept and hit Next. This will install the SDK to your Android Studio project. Once completed, hit Finish and wait for the Gradle to build. Your project's file structure has been automatically created. The left-hand tool window will allow you to access your project's different files. The most important ones are your manifest, which details your app's different activities and sets your app's permissions, such as GPS location, access to the camera on the device, internet permissions, and all that stuff. Your Java files will be held in this folder down here, with main activity being the first file to launch when your app opens up for the first time. Down in the Layouts folder, you will find your layout files. These layout files define your user UI. This is what a user will see whenever they run your app. Clicking one of these XML files will open up your layout editor on the right. Here we see the different widgets that you can add to your app. It's a simple click and drag system. It's pretty user friendly. Below your layouts, you'll get access to your Gradle scripts. The two most important ones are your project level build Gradle and your app level build Gradle. We'll be accessing those here in a little while. Now, next let's set up our Android emulator. Click the play button up here on the top right of the screen. Now our ADB will initialize and we'll be able to create a new virtual device. These are the different phones and tablets and smartwatches that we can emulate. For this tutorial, we are going to create a Pixel 2 emulator. So select Pixel 2 and hit Next. This brings up a list of recommended system images. You can download different versions of Android to put on your emulator. Select any one of these and download a system image to run on your emulator. These system images take up quite a bit of space, so I wouldn't recommend downloading too many of them. But hey, do whatever it is that you want. Once you're finished downloading a system image, hit Next. On this last window, you can change your AVD name and to check out advanced emulator settings. The things are going to be slow regardless, so whatever. Just go ahead and hit Finish, and you've now created a new virtual device. Select it and hit OK. Now click Install and Continue. The first time that your emulator starts up, it's actually really slow, so give it a second. The next time that you start up your emulator, it'll actually be a little bit faster. Still kind of slow, but hey, it works. It functions just like a real phone without the camera and the microphone and all that other stuff. It'll automatically launch your application, and if you want to try out the different features of Oreo or whatever version it is that you decided to download, you can go ahead and click around and it'll work, albeit kind of slow. I only really use the emulator to take screenshots of my finished app. It's better to test out and debug your applications on an actual Android device. So grab your phone and let's unlock the developer options on your phone. Go to the settings on your phone and scroll down. You'll see something that says About Phone or System or something. It'll be different on different devices. It won't look the same as it does on this emulator, but I'm navigating here just to give you a general idea of how. In About Phone, navigate down to Software Info. What you're looking for is the option that says Android version. Click around until you find it, then click the heck out of it. Do it real fast. This will bring up an Easter egg. Now click back a couple times and you'll find a new option available to you. It'll be listed as Developer Options. Now scroll down to Debugging and activate USB Debugging. Once that's done, connect your Android device to your computer using a USB cable. Now if you go up to the play button in Android Studio, you'll see a new option available to you. Your device will be listed. Select your Android device and hit Run. Now your app will be running live on your phone. And that's it. You're ready to start developing your app. I'm not covering any actual programming on this video, otherwise this thing would go on for days. Instead, I'm going to link a bunch of resources on my site. These different resources really help me out in learning how to program for Android Studio. A combination of web pages, free courses, YouTube walkthrough tutorials like this one are laid out on this site, so go there, check it out, and you'll get the gist of kind of how everything seems to work. Another thing you can do is Google it. If you have a question, you run into a problem, odds are a lot of people have run into the exact same thing that you're trying to solve. So click through and then you'll see forums. Pretty good descriptions are provided by a bunch of different users. It's a pretty helpful community. Another way of learning how to program is checking out actual running examples of different applications, the file structures and all that stuff. You can access working examples at github.com. Simply go to an Android project on GitHub, select clone or download, then download the zip file. Once it's downloaded, extract it. Now go back to Android Studio and hit File, Open. Navigate to your extracted folder. Brand new unsynced projects will have the Gradle icon next to it. Once you're done building the project for the very first time, the icon is going to change to the one right there. It looks like the one next to My Application. After that, you don't want to move the project folder around or errors are going to occur and your project isn't going to want to run. So make sure you download it and keep it where you want to store it. So open and build the project. You'll pretty much always end up with this error. You want to install the missing plugins and all that stuff and wait for it to build, and you'll get to see a working example of an actual app. Here's a real manifest. You can look through it. Here are different Java files. You can mess around with those if you feel like. And here are the different layouts. Click around in there and see how everybody lays out one of these XMLs. Now go down to the build Gradle and you can see how one of those looks. Alright, let's run this test app and see what it looks like. There it is. You can run it on an emulator, run it on your phone, tweak it, make changes, see what it does, play around and have a hands-on learning experience. Over here in Android, we have a very useful tool. It's the Logcat. Check the device that you want to monitor and you'll see all of the running processes on your phone. This works for the emulator and your own personal phone. You can see what the device is actually doing all of the time. Check it out, it's pretty scary. Anyways, next to the Logcat, you have the Android Profiler. It's kind of like a task manager for your phone. You can check out CPU, memory, network usage. Next to that is the run and the to-do tool windows. I don't use those that often. Once you're confident with the software and you want to make an app, you're going to want to add version control to your program. Up there on the tool window, select VCS, go to Import into Version Control, and create a Git repository. Select somewhere to put the Git repository, and hit OK. All of your unsaved files will turn red, and you'll have a new icon down at the bottom that says Version Control. Now up next, go to File, New, and Project from Version Control. Then select the GitHub option. From here, we're going to select Sign Up and create a github.com account. Now create a username and password, then hit Sign Up for GitHub. Now scroll to the bottom and hit Create Account. Fill out any necessary information and hit Create Account. You can create public repositories for free, as many as you want, but you do have to pay $7 a month in order to run private projects. But you can do that later once you're running full production apps. Alright, go down to the bottom and hit Continue. Fill out that last little questionnaire and hit Submit. Alright, next you're going to get an email in your inbox asking you to verify your account. Email. Go ahead and verify it. Alright, and we're done. So if you want more information on how GitHub works, you can click this link right here and you'll be provided with a guide. I've linked it down here at the bottom of my site, along with a few more resources letting you know how GitHub actually works. But pretty much it lets you undo changes and sync up with other users so multiple people can be working on the project at the same time and to not get in each other's way or do something that breaks the code. All right, now go back to Android Studio, change the authorization type to password, and enter your newly created login and password, and log in. All right, next I'm going to show you how to clone a repository directly from GitHub. That way you don't have to download any zip files, extract anything. navigate around or go to any websites. That way you can send your Git repository URL to somebody or get one recommended or sent to you, and you can just go ahead and download it. All right, find a parent directory. This is where your GitHub clones are going to go. Then give your directory a name. All right, now let's go back to github.com and click Start a Project. All right, now you're going to create a repository on github.com in order to upload your different Gits. So give it a name and a description. For now, we're just going to create a public one. All right, go down and hit Create Repository. All right, now we have a place to push a Git up to. But first, I want to show you how to finish cloning a Git repository directly. Copy the URL, go back to Android Studio, and paste it in the Git repository URL box. Then hit Test. If your internet is working fine, then everything should go smoothly. Now go down and hit Clone. Now open your project. What we just downloaded was an empty Git repository, so there aren't going to be any files on this project other than 2 generic files. So let's go down and hit Version Control. I want to show you how this thing works. Here you can hit Refresh and it'll show you an updated list of the different file augmentations that you've made. And below it, you're going to see a green icon. Click it to commit, or in other words, save your changes. Just know that you cannot commit without putting a commit message. In the message, you should say what it is that you've changed. All right, now it's going to ask you for a name and an email. This is going to sign your different commits, so you'll know who made edits to what. All right, hit OK, and changes have been saved locally to your device. Next, I want to show you how to push a commit up to the internet, up to that URL that we just made. So I'm going to open up a working project. All right, I'm going to go down to Version Control and make a new commit. Select all the files that you want to upload. And remember, you cannot post a commit without a commit message. Here, let's call it initial commit. All right, save that to our Git. It's saying that we have an error, but oh well. For the demonstration, let's just get this thing done. As you can see, nothing changed on our URL. First, we have to manually push it up to the internet. So go to VCS, go to your new Git option, and all the way at the bottom, select Push. All right, now copy and paste the URL from your website. It's this one right here. All right, let's paste it and hit OK. This shows you everything that's going to get pushed up to the website. Hit Push. Now enter in your GitHub login and password. And there it is. It's up on the internet. Now let's go check and see what it is that we did. If you go back to your browser, hit refresh, you're going to see a Git. Now other people can clone and download whatever it is that you want to put up there. All right, go make some dark web applications. All right, so let's fast forward in the future. Say that you already made your app, you're ready to publish it. Make sure you subscribe or like this video, save it to something, and come back once you're done. Because I made an additional web page. If you hit this link right here, continue to share, I'm going to show you how to share your Android app. You're going to share it on the Google Play Store for this example. There's some more places you can go to, like APK Pure, I guess. I don't know. But for this one, we're going to upload a real app to Google Play and go through the entire process of putting an ad banner on your app, subscribing through all the necessary web services and accounts, make all that stuff. And we're going to get an actual app up here next to Pokemon Quest. Alright, so let's start off with all the free stuff. Alright, so you want to go to AdMob.com and sign up for the service. Fill out this little application, go down, sign your soul away, and create an AdMob account. Check all that, because whatever, and continue on to AdMob. Right, it's just that easy. You now have an AdMob account. So let's take care of all the things we need to take care of here. Click the grid icon and select Add Your First App. No, we have not published our app yet, so hit no. Alright, so enter your app name. We are developing for Android. Hit Add, and you have now created an app ID. You don't need to save that right now. You can access it later. Go to Create Unit Add. For this example, we're going to make a banner. Name your banner. You're going to use that later on inside of AdMob to know what it is that you're modifying. Alright, next. Here's your app ID. And add unit ID. Alright, hit done. Alright, we've made an ad. Right down here we have blocking controls. If you're anti-close, you can block those. We're not going to moderate anything yet. We're just going to go down here to this gear and link our app to FireBase. Alright, so you have to enter your package name. You can find that on the manifest for your app project. Just copy it, paste it in this edit text box. Alright, hit enter, hit continue. And then you want your project name. Alright, so give your project a title, hit continue, And there you go. You have now created a FireBase account, a FireBase project. Now email this info to yourself just in case you mess up in the next following steps. That way at least you can try to figure out what you did. But if you follow the steps, you will not screw up. Alright, down here you have reports. That'll get filled in later. Now we need to create a mediation group. Let's skip the introductions. Go to create mediation group. And you are going to make a banner ad. Remember, banner ad, Android. Click continue. Now give your mediation group a name. Call it whatever it is that you want. Now go down here and click add units. Alright, we're going to make that test banner as a part of our mediation group. Alright. Now add source, save. There we go. This mediation group is going to try to get us the most money for the ad space on our app. Alright, next you can launch a campaign if you want, but let's save that for later. Next you can do blocking controls once again, set up payments. You have to set up payments or you will not get ads. So just fill in that information. All you need for now is to enter in an address because you will not get paid until you make at least $100 in ad revenue. That's the minimum threshold for actually getting anything. Alright, and that's everything. Below that, you can mess around with your settings, check out help or send some feedback to people. But we're done with AdMob for now, so let's close that out. Now we have to put the AdMob SDK into our app. So we're going to follow this handy quick start guide that I've linked back here on my site. Highlight and copy the code shown here in bold. It's a Maven directive and it's going to go in your project level build Gradle. So go back to your Android Studio project and navigate to your project level build Gradle. Now paste your Maven directive down here in the All Projects Repositories section. Back on the site, copy this code shown in bold. It's going to pull in the Mobile Ads SDK off of the internet. Right now that you have it copied, go back to your Android Studio project and go into your app level build Gradle. This implementation is going to go down here in your dependencies section. Put it down at the bottom. Next, we're going to update our manifest. Go back to the Mobile Ads website. Scroll down and copy the code shown in bold. Get all of it. I screwed up and didn't copy all of it. Well, I'll fix it later in the video. But just for now, go ahead and do it right. And make sure you copy that metadata tag up there. Now go back to your Android Studio project and paste the code right here. Next, we have to update our main activity. So go back to the mobile ads site, copy this bit of code. Then we're going to go to our main activity. And up at the top next to all the rest of our imports, we're going to paste that in. Next, copy this bit of code and paste it down below set content view in your main activity file. This is going to initialize the view for our banner ad. Oh, and make sure that you use your test ID while testing your banner ad. Back at the mobile ads website, scroll down and click implement banner. Now we're going to edit our main activity XML. Copy this grayed out code and head over to your main activity XML in your layouts folder. Go to text and we're going to wrap our main activities layout in this relative layout. Go up to the top and delete this padding. This is going to make it so our banner ad doesn't obstruct our user interface. Go back to the website and copy the code in bold. Now paste it underneath your constraint layout, but inside of the wrapping relative layout. Now we have to edit our main activity once more. Go back to the site, copy these two import lines, and paste them into your main activity. Next, copy this line of code. Paste that in your main activity, above your onCreate method. Next, from the ad side, grab these three lines of code. They are also going to go in your main activity Java file below this other line of code that you copied and pasted from the website. Back on the website, scroll down to the very bottom and copy this text right here that says Smart Banner. Go back to your main activity layout and in your ad view, go down to ad size, see where it says banner, replace that text with Smart Banner. Also change the layout width to match parent. Alright, let's run it and you're going to be able to see a test ad. And that's how you add a banner ad to your application. Up next, we want to add FireBase support to our ad. Back on my site, I have provided a link to a FireBase Quick Start Guide. So follow the link. So we're going to follow along with the guide and manually add the FireBase SDK to our project. Grab the code for the Google Services plugin and navigate to the project level build Gradle for your application. Here inside of the build script dependencies, we're going to paste our code. Now copy the Google Maven repository code from the website. Paste it in the All Projects repository section of your project level build Gradle. Now let's copy the next line of code from the browser, and you're going to want to paste it at the very top of your app level build Gradle. Now go back to your browser, copy this line of code, and paste it in the app level build Gradle at the bottom of your dependency. Please make sure that it is the last implementation that you add to your dependencies. Put it at the bottom, after the Play Services dependency. Now copy this last little line of code from the FireBase website and paste it into your app level build Gradle at the very bottom after the closing brace for your dependencies. Back in the browser, scroll down and you'll see the different services that you can add to your application. For now, we're just going to grab the AdMob Gradle dependency line, copy it, and paste it into your app level build Gradle. In the dependencies section, after your FireBase core, and type implementation in front of this new line and surround it with quotes. Single quotes, double quotes, apparently it works the same. Here I had an error. The Play Services dependency was outdated. You should get an error message that tells you what the latest Play Services dependency is. Go ahead and update it, then sync your Gradle. You'll get an error that says you're missing a Google Services JSON file. This is normal. Go to the top toolbar of your Android Studio project, hit Tool, and select FireBase. A navigation drawer will pop out of the side. Click Connect FireBase. This should open up a browser window where you will sign into FireBase for your Android Studio program. Select your account, scroll down to the bottom, and hit Allow. Now hit FireBase on the new page that shows up. On the next page, hit Get Started. If you get stuck on the login screen, it's because you have an extension on your browser that's conflicting with FireBase. You're going to have to disable it, but if everything goes well, you're going to end up on this page. Now you can click on the project that you made in AdMob, and you'll be directed to this page. If you want to add more Gradle dependencies from FireBase, they will show up here. Back in Android Studio, you want to hit Connect to FireBase. It's normal for the connection to fail on the first try, so just go ahead and connect again, and you should be successful on the second try. Now what that did is it connected your application to FireBase, and it put that missing file, remember the JSON file? It put it in your app, brand new file, and check. Next up, we have to create a signed APK. It's a security measure we have to go through in order to submit an app to the Play Store. In Android Studio, you want to go to the toolbar, click Build, and click Generate Signed APK. Click Create New, and choose a location to keep your key. Keep your key outside of your main project folder. Choose a place where you can remember where it's at, because we're going to have to find it here in a little while. Give it a name and remember what it's called. Now give your key store a password, then create an alias. That one also requires a password, and this key will be active for 25 years. So now you just add the information to your certificate, give it your name, organizational unit, the name of your organization, city or locality, the state or your province, and your country code. This is your claim to the app. Now click OK, select Remember Passwords, or you're going to be typing this stuff in over and over and over and over. Make sure that the build type is Release, and that you check V1 and V2. They're in the signature versions, and hit Finish. While your Gradle is syncing, go to the left-hand tool window and change the project view from Android to Project. Right-click on the list item with your application's name. Now go down to Open Module Settings. Click on it. Click on your App module and go to the Signing tab. Now hit plus. Now enter your key alias, your key password. Find the location of your key store and enter the password for your key store. Hope you remembered all that stuff. Over here on the left hand side, click on Build Variants. a window pops up and you're going to want to change the build variant from debug to release. Oh dang, I forgot one thing. You want to change your app ID and your ad unit ID to the legit thing. So head over to admob.com. Your ad unit ID is located here. Copy it and paste it into your main activity XML layout. Replace the test ID with the real one. Now you want to find your app ID. It's located here. Copy it and replace the test IDs in your main activity and Android manifest. Here I'm going to fix a mistake I made in the Android manifest earlier, like I said I was, later on in the video. Now in the toolbar, click Build and click Generate Signed APK again, right? Click Locate and there you go. That's your app. That's going to go on the Google Play Store. Now, let's put it on the Play Store. Go to the Google Play console, Google it, or I'll put a link on my website later on. You'll arrive at this bottom, hit that checkbox, sign away your soul, and then continue on to payment. Now right here you want to enter in your information. I'm going to skip that, hit pay, and continue with registration. Now you have to enter in a little bit of information, your developer name, email address, and phone number. Check those boxes and complete registration. It'll log you out and then just log yourself back in and you'll be done. And there it is, you're on the Google Play console. You're a publisher, so let's publish an app. Click on Publish an Android app in Google Play. Now give your app a title. For this demonstration, I'm using a real app. This is what I named it. Now you're going to fill out information for your store listing. You're going to give it a short name, a long description, and then you're going to add some graphic assets. You have to put a screenshot of your app onto your account. So just open up your emulator, play around with your app a little bit, check out the different screens, and hit the photo icon on the right. That's going to save photos of your application in action. By default, these screenshots get saved to your desktop. But if that's not where they show up, you can find out where they're being saved here. Alright, so upload your screenshots. You need at least 2 and up to 8, I believe. Next, you need to upload a high-res icon that's going to show up on the Play Store. It needs to be 512 by 512. It has to fit these dimensions exactly, or the Play Store will reject it and you'll get an error. Now go to App Releases from the navigation drawer. Then click and drag your APK into this window. We're going to leave the release as a 1.0. It's the very first time that this thing has been uploaded. And now you can enter what's new in this release. Later on you can add features such as optimized code or multiple user accounts, something like that. Just whatever's new. I'm just going to say off to a start. Save this, and we now get a green check next to app releases. But we can't roll out production until all those green check marks are checked. Alright, so content rating, you're going to want to enter your email address, and then you're going to fill out a little questionnaire regarding what type of content is going to be on your app, and if there are going to have to be age restrictions on it. Alright, so select a category. No, there's no violence. No boobs. No beep. No crack. No. Nothing salacious. So just hit no unless your app is about violence, boobs, and salacious behavior. In which case, click yes. Now save your questionnaire. It's going to calculate a rating. Scroll down and apply it to your application. Then you're going to get a green check. Alright, pricing and distribution. This one's going to be free. Remember, you're making money from ads. Check which countries you want to release in. For now, I'm just going to do US. Alright, fill out the rest of this information. And you're going to get a green check. Alright, oops, forgot to upload a promotional graphic. So let's do that now. Alright, save draft, and you're going to get a little icon down here that says ready to publish. Now that all your green check boxes have been checked. Alright, now go to Manage Releases. Go down here to Manage, or Edit Release rather. Scroll down to the bottom, hit Review. Alright, this is it. The grand finale. Go down to the bottom, hit Start Rollout to Production. Hit Confirm, and it's going to end up on the Play Store. Alright, now, patience. Now anywhere between 12 and 48 hours, your app is going to show up on people's Google Play Store search results. It's not going to happen immediately. Don't panic. Be patient, and it will show up. Check it again every 6 hours if you really want to look at it right now, if you're impatient. Once it shows up in a search result, go back to AdMob.com. Navigate to your app and go to the app settings. Notice here how it says not linked to Google Play. We need to change that. So click on it. Now we're going to do a Google Play search result. Enter the name of your app. I already added mine and lost the footage. So I'm going to show you a demo of kind of what it looks like. Here it says added. It's not going to say that. I'm going to show you what it looks like. See right here, you're going to get the option to select. And then you're going to want to link your app. It says you can't undo it, so I'm not going to click it here, but you want to once you have your app selected. And there it is. We are on Google Play. Now you can select a device to add it to, install it, and there you go. It'll send the application to your phone, to your tablet, to, whatever. That way you don't have to go to every single device and install it. Go ahead and do it. If you like the video, like the video. For more videos like this, hit subscribe. If you plan on making an Android app yourself, hit subscribe and save this video to one of your playlists. That way you can reference it, and if anything changes between now and then, I'll make sure to make an updated video for you. Thank you for your time. Bonus content. Alright, let's go back to our Android application. Alright, let's say you found a bug after you released it. Oh no, you're panicking. You fixed the code. You don't know what to do. A misrepresentation of your life achievements is out there. How do you fix this? Alright, go to your Android Studio project. Go to the app level build Gradle. Update your version code. Increment the number on here by 1. So instead of 1, we're going to put in 2, because 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now change the version name. Increment it by 0.1. So instead of 1.0, it's going to be 1.1. Synchronize your Gradle. Go to build and generate another signed APK. Alright, put it right over here and go back to your Google Developer Console. Navigate to your app, go to Release Management, and go to the Release Dashboard. Now manage your release. Alright, hit Manage and go to Edit Release. Now take your APK and drag it into that window. Go down to the bottom, change your release comment, save, review, and roll it back out again. And there you go.